So good morning, lovelies. Just starting where you're comfortable, seated or lying down. And just observing how your body feels today. If anything feels a little bit tender or achy or you need to pee, just pay a little bit more attention to it, please do. And adapt yourself. Come out of the pose entirely if you need to and choose something that you know your body does like. It's really important to honour what you know your body can and can't do. And that's always the case, not just with yoga really and on our mat. It's as we go through life, just listening to the body and doing what we know is within our kind of threshold in that moment. So let's relax. Let's take a few minutes to just settle into this moment. Whether you've had a busy morning or not, it's just nice to acclimatise to this quiet space now. Check in with your breathing, whether it's very gentle, perhaps shallow, or whether it's sort of deep and rapid, or deep and gentle. Can you feel all the parts of the body that move when you breathe? And taking a moment also to ground your energies down into Mother Earth, root down from feet or tailbone, and just have an idea about how you would like your day to pan out. Whatever you have planned or intend to do, maybe you can visualise these little segments of the day panning out later on and what they might look like. Whether you're going to have a smile on your face when you do it, or whether the people that you're with have a kind of a joyful feel about them. And it's quite nice to sort of imagine this so that you can almost intend your day. It's just see it unravel later on. Checking in with how your mind is this morning and what was your last thought that second ago. And seeing if we can be quite conscious of our thoughts through our practice. Really observe what we're thinking and know that we're thinking it. So we'll come up for Zazen. If you're lying down, just bring the knees in, have a nice little hug and a rock. And if you're already seated, then just gently moving, however feels nice for you. We'll come up for 5 minutes of Zazen. I think we'll go with a mantra today. And it can be one word. I'm going to choose the word love and just repeat the word love, love, love. If you want to choose the word peace or a little phrase that you like to personally use yourself, it could be love, light, healing and protection, like a little group of words. But we're just going to sit with either one or a few words. Repeat them. Notice how much the mind wanders off and how often you can come back to the mantra. And whether you, after saying it so many times over the course of sort of 5 minutes, whether you start to really kind of embody what you're saying to yourself, whether you feel the heart open or you feel peaceful. So choose a word or a phrase. Don't be afraid if you want to change it partway through. It is your practice. So it is just quiet time with a powerful mantra that feels right for you in this moment. So let's just drop the eyelids, relax the shoulders and your face, and internally just repeating on a long out breath, maybe that word. And if you choose a word like love or peace, notice the many thoughts that link in with that word, who you think about, how far it extends. Just sit with the essence and the energy of it. Following your thoughts. Staying with the breath and the mantra. Maybe just one more repetition. And then coming back. Blinking your eyes open. Just noticing how that practice felt, whether your mind was really busy and wandered off a lot, or whether you just stayed with that lovely repetition of whatever you chose. So our first pose is cuckoo. So just popping your cushions away. We'll start with the right leg out and then just bringing the left foot into the top of the right thigh. So like head to knee pose in Hatha. And if you need anything underneath this left bent leg, like a cushion under the thigh, then you can play with some padding there. Otherwise, we'll just gently fold into this pose, exploring whatever we feel. Taking some deep breaths, gradually letting the shoulders soften. And as you really relax, your leg may rotate. And if you want to, you can carry on that lovely word or mantra in your mind through your practice. Notice how often your body tenses up again. Where are you feeling this the most? Perhaps the back of the leg, or is it the left hip, lower back? And how does this pose feel for you today? Is it a welcome feeling? And just bringing your awareness to your breath. Noticing how quiet your mind is. How do you feel in this pose? What emotions come to the surface? And then when you're ready, let's just take one more breath and slowly lifting up, being very aware of what we feel as we just come out of this ever so slowly. The back of the leg, how it feels in the hip, and as we extend the left leg and just lying down. Notice the change in how it feels to breathe as well, just total awareness. Being gentle with yourself. And then as we let everything settle and realign, just aware of how long it takes for everything to relax through the back and spine. Gentle breaths. Attuning to whatever you feel. And just watching the sensation gradually fade. We'll draw the right knee in, nice and slowly. Again, with all of these movements that we do today, just observing how you react, what sensations you get. And then gently coming up, we'll come into the other side. So left leg extended, right foot into the top of the thigh. And again, explore this side. And just enjoy as you watch your body gradually sort of stretch, very subtly, and your shape changes very gradually as well. Every now and then when you're in these poses, just see if you can move into them a bit more. Quite often just the time sat, allowing the stretch to gradually sort of expand, allows you to move further into it. If any movement causes pain, always just come back a little. Deep breaths, belly breaths. Not just following the breath in the belly and the chest, but just enjoying feeling whatever you feel with the breath in the back of your body. Notice if the pose has allowed you to soften even more. Where are your thoughts? Lovely pose for your bladder, kidney, liver, gallbladder, spleen. So 2 more conscious breaths here. Gently lifting up. Very mindful of your movements. And then neutral spine. I like to come down ever so gently. Time to relax. Observe, really tune into what you're feeling. Where is there coldness, tingling? Maybe you even feel warmth. Relaxing the lower back. What difference can you feel on the inside of your legs from left to right? Relaxing shoulders and face. And then gently we'll hug our knees in. Enjoy the time. We're in no rush today. We can just enjoy being with our bodies. So before we come up into Swan, I'm just going to show you the reverse option, because sometimes Swan can aggravate any kind of hip or other leg issues. So the alternative in reverse Swan is to bring the foot onto the opposite knee, and then we just hug round, hand goes through the legs, clasps round that thigh, and then we bring the leg away. So you can be in a little bit more control as to how much, or if simply just bringing the foot onto the knee and keeping the foot on the mat is an option, just to kind of open up the hip. And so we can do this both sides as an alternative. If, however, you're happy to come into Swan, we'll start with the right knee bent at the front. So bringing right knee bent, left leg extends long behind you. Bring a cushion under your buttock. And then we can come into this pose. Take your time. It's one of these poses that takes a little while to feel, soften into, because quite often there's a real deep tightness in the thigh and buttock. So upright swan is always nice to start in. This stimulates the arms, hands, wrists, the heart and lung meridian that's associated with summer. Lovely little gentle curve into our lumbar spine. And then whenever you're ready, if you want to, you don't have to, you can stay upright, or you can come into elbows or arms stretch and head down. Whatever position you've taken, as always, just try and encourage the body to soften and let go of the muscle tension. Passive. Relax the head and neck down. Draw your awareness to your breath and notice if the abdominal muscles are tight, or whether we can breathe deeply into the belly. This is a really lovely stretch for all the meridians that flow through our legs, especially stomach and spleen. So helping digestive health and immune health. How's it feeling now? Is that deep sort of bruisey feeling starting to ease? If you want a block for your head, please by all means use your props. Keep letting go of any tension in the abdomen. Deep breaths. And we'll just do about 4 minutes today in this one, so let's take one more deep breath. And gently, really slowly and mindfully coming out. Take your time to just feel everything that you feel, especially as we come out of that compression with the right leg. You'll probably feel a lovely sort of flood of fluid and energy flow through, tingliness through the feet. And just closing the eyes for a moment, reflecting on what you feel. Not just physically, all levels. Sometimes when we come into what we consider a difficult or a challenging pose, it reinforces that we can cope with difficult situations in life. Noticing if your tummy's making noises, because we are very much working with a lot of energy in this area and the meridians associated with digestive system. And just checking in with how your feet feel, the left one and the right one. So again, bring the knees in. Gentle rock. And again, either doing the reverse swan with the left knee bent now and then the foot on the left foot on the right knee, or coming up. You might find that you can do one in reverse and one normal, or I would probably suggest doing both the same way, just so you can see that comparison more clearly. So this time the left knee bends, the right leg extends behind us, and again supporting under the buttocks so that the hips are nice and level. Have a block handy for if you want that for your head shortly. And just beginning to feel and settle into this. You might notice that there's a deeper sort of stretch from one side to the other. Notice where you're holding your breath, if you are, or whether the muscles are tight as you breathe. Notice if you like this pose today. Some days you'll love a pose, other days it will be really quite difficult. Is your breathing easy or is it challenging and rapid? Just witnessing your thoughts. What are you thinking? Relaxing the belly. Moving deeper into the pose if you wish. Keep looking for anything that you can relax. Taking a nice deep breath. Lifting up. And And gently finding neutral. And relax. Noticing what you're feeling, where you're feeling it. Especially any tingling that you're feeling in the left leg, left foot now. And then when you're ready, let's draw knees in. Have a little rock. We're going to come up into butterfly. So just drawing your feet together. If you need anything underneath the thighs, little rolled blanket or cushions, it's always nice to feel supported. So, and gently softening here. Deep breaths. Noticing what you're feeling, where you're feeling it. Perhaps drawing that mantra back to mind in this nice quiet pose. Relaxing neck and head, shoulders and your face. So lovely for liver and kidney. Whenever we have any fear or anger, these can be the energies that deplete the liver and kidneys. Softening a bit more. And then gently we'll come up. One more breath. Nice and slowly. Noticing the difference. We've done a lot of postures where we've taken the legs out and the hip has rotated. And just checking with how it feels different in each of these poses today. We'll come down and relax. What do you feel? Is there an evenness in what you sense through your feet and legs? If you feel any sensation of chi, coldness, tingling, can you feel it both sides? What do you feel through the belly and chest? Relaxing your back. And then when you're ready, we'll draw knees in. We're going to come into a nice relaxing bench pose now. So when you're ready, just rolling up. If you've got a cushion handy, just placing it a few inches from your body, just so that the lumbar spine isn't too curved and it is more of a thoracic stretch, that upper body stretch. So coming down. Just adjust the cushion should you need to, and anything that you need to support your neck. Perhaps a block behind the head or a small rolled up towel behind the neck. And just enjoy this lovely, relaxing, supportive pose. Closing your eyes. Deep breaths and just letting go. What are you thinking? Noticing if your breath is lovely and deep, but slow and steady.
Just enjoying this feeling. Notice if the mind starts to drift. And then we'll take a couple of more breaths. Slowly lifting your head. Just lift the upper back. Pull the cushion away. Come down. Enjoying what you feel after that pose. And now gently we'll come into relaxation. So if you want to stay lying down, please do. You might just want to hug your knees in just to feel into your back. Have a little rock. And then get comfortable with some support and blankets maybe. And if you want to join me seated, you can do. So 10 minutes to relax. Let's pick a little guidance card. See if it's something that resonates or we can just think about as you rest. Sometimes it's just the right little bit of wisdom that comes our way for the day. This one is patience. So now is the time to learn, study and gather information. Enjoy being a student, because in the future you will synthesize your knowledge into action. Although you may be aching to begin a new project, now is not the time. You're in the vital phase of gathering right now. This means that you're acquiring new information through studying, reading, meditating, channeling, taking classes, interviewing experts and other means. In all of life, there is a time for gathering and a time for planting. It is too soon for you to decide how you will use the new information that you're absorbing. You may have some ideas, though it may be wise to write them down for future use. Soon enough, you'll be called into action to apply your knowledge in useful ways. When that happens, you will be very busy and work very hard. So enjoy the present moments of ambiguity and rest. Allow yourself to be an empty vessel into which heaven pours the contents of its library of wisdom. Your unique talents will blend with this wisdom and synthesize into a new and important way to bring peace to this planet. So a time of learning or studying or contemplating rather than doing. That time will come. So just have a few more minutes to just relax, be with your thoughts. Just very gently now, you can bring your awareness back. Checking in with how you're breathing, and maybe take some nice long deep breaths. Inhale and a long sigh. How do you feel? Not just physically, but how do you feel in your emotions and the mind? If it's a little bit quieter than when we started. Perhaps there's some answers that have come through and there's clarity on something. When we get quiet, the answers come. So if you're lying down, just begin to wiggle fingers and toes, and then you can just gently start to hug the knees in. Enjoy a nice rock on your back, and if you're seated, you can just gently roll shoulders. And then join me seated when you're ready. Take another moment to imagine yourself grounding your roots.
as you move into the rest of your day. And then just drawing hands to heart center. Om Shanti.
Namaste.